This here is Tuxedo. You've seen her before. She is now finished, or as finished as I'm going to make her. We rebuilt the motor, rebuilt the transmission. She had the start of a chrome package. It's got the chrome headlight and taillight. We got it with that. And she had been dropped on the right side. So we had to straighten out the front crash bar and the handlebars and re-straighten the headlight shell. This is the headlight shell we got with it. The headlight shell had no guts. So I had to come up with a ring and a lens and a reflector, which came off my 46 knucklehead. And she had, in the accident, slightly damaged here. Scuffed this pretty good and got the handlebar here. So we straightened those and we unlaced the wheels, rebuilt the hubs, redid the brakes. The brakes have been arched to the drum. These are new old stock Goodyear tires from the era with the wide stripe. These are the early ones, hard to get. So this is the original running light. We did not rewire this bike. So obviously any bike this old should be rewired, in my opinion. I took these grips off a 50 pan head I found in the desert out in Palmdale. So they're much better than the grips that came with this bike, which were kind of rotted and destroyed. This here is a new old stock Harley Davidson mirror. Brand new old stock I found for this bike because it's such a nice bike. The speedo we got was very unused, so it was very grimy inside. We've had it rebuilt, but this one here matches the patina of the bike so much better. And this is a 49, the last year of this block style with the numbers. It has the early January oil here. This is original paint on this machine. This is original paint. Original paint, yes it is. We've tested it. We've done a light spectrometer to it. It is an original paint bike. When we got it, it was so dusty that you couldn't hardly tell it was black. And I had a feeling I'd be able to get a nice bike out of it when we polished it up. And these are lacquer paint jobs, which was a high-end paint job in the era, and they're very pretty. This is the original taillight lens. I don't know if you can still see Harley Davidson guide. I can make it out, but it doesn't mean you can on the video. This rear seat, the guy I got it from Daddy, who got it used in 1950 with about 100 miles on it. Somebody put on this original rear buddy seat here, which is a Bates style, and then somebody had upholstered the top with vinyl, and I haven't found another one. But the seat itself is new old stock. It's never been on a bike till now. The rubbers here, these are not reproduction. These are new old stock rubbers. And I found these here, this would be part of the chrome package. I found this at Sacramento swap meet. And these caps here, these are era accessory caps. They're not Eaton's, but they're new old stock from the era, so they are correct. So what I had a problem with is I couldn't find a new old stock chrome oil tank cap that was Harley, so I used the accessory caps, but they're actually super hard to find. I had to come up with a battery box top. This is an original top here with accessory chrome from the era, so that is correct. It has the correct 45, not trike, 45 kicker. Here, this is an original exhaust. It's not been repainted. So all your brake cables and lines and clutch cable, all this is all original stuff. These are accessory pegs from the time for your passenger. So it is generating beautiful. I turned the third brush all the way up for the lights. You got bright lights at night. The running light is not working. We have no power here, and I did not rewire this bike, so the running light is not working, but the horn's working beautiful. The light, the tail light, brake light, all that's working. One of the hardest things to find on this bike is the kickstand spring and kickstand was kind of wore out. The kickstand itself is new old stock, and the guy I got it from said it took him 5 years to find it 20 years ago. It'll give you an idea how hard they are to find. So we had to replace the transmission case. It was busted at the filler plug in the accident. So I found another nice uncracked transmission case. Another hard item to find was this filler plug. It was missing, and this is not an army green one. There's plenty of those. That's a new old stock Parkerized one. I'll try and find one of them. That was difficult. She came up very nice. We did have to repaint the cylinders because it had been resprayed 3 times. And overall, this is the very first one that Duncan Keller has done for me, bringing back the original paint. And I think he's done an excellent job. So it's running back. I just took out to the Long Beach meet and back today, and took out to Long Beach and back yesterday. So the little glow brights here on the license plate bracket, those are new old stock. Expensive, hard to find. So she came out very nice. We're going to fire it up here, take her for a run up and down. And again, those of you who just got into the site, we named this one Tuxedo because she's white and black. And some of you guys may not like white walls, but I say tough. Deal with it. White walls are the era. If you had a really cool classic vehicle of this time and you thought it was a high-end dressed up vehicle, this is what you rode, was wide white walls. Very common. Yeah, that's why they're so hard to find today, because everybody used them. That's what people did. So we brought her back to a nice high-end 45 from 1949. It's a 49 WL. Let me give you an idea. Harley Davidson has admitted to making 80,000 plus WLAs for the war. This doesn't count all the unnumbered bikes that they made and sent to the war prior to us actually declaring war on Germany and Japan after we got bombed at Pearl Harbor. So how many bikes and parts after that? I would guesstimate somewhere around 300,000 units plus the 80,000 they actually said they made. But a WLA and a WL are not the same bike. This is 1949, the economy's booming, people are buying stuff. The guys didn't want a scrap WLA Army Green bike. So the guys who had the money and wanted a 45, they bought a new one still, and they made about 5,500 units this year. But it was still 45. Today's Sportster is equivalent to that machine back then. So it was a still lower end bike, and they got dirt whomped and rode in the swamps and rode in the dirt and trashed and chopped and generally all around fucked up. So trying to find a high-end original paint 45 of any year is extremely difficult. A lot more big twins than 45s were made. A lot of the big twins were saved as opposed to the 45s. I've only had 2. This is one of the 2. So here we go. We're going to fire it up. Hopefully he's going to take over the camera here and give us a little view up and down the street as we go. There you go, love. She's all positioned. Turn on a little magic gas. Play with it. Whatever, I'm not tipping the bike over. brake light is working. This bike runs so smooth, I can actually see perfectly clear out of the rear view mirror as well as I can going forward. That is a good running bike. Almost never happens. Idle's perfect, runs perfect, transmission's perfectly smooth. It's with the 45. It does not have the torque of the big twin. So it's a good running bike. Keep her at 50, 55 max and she'll go forever. Take over 55 and she'll break. She's not meant to go that fast. She's a 45. A really, really sweet running machine. Adjust the height right there. Anyhow, I'm going to go put her back in the shop, and we'll see you all in the next video.